Hello and welcome to the video series about the Nasdaq Scalping Bot. I decided to share my knowledge about the creation of this scalping bot with you guys, so you can see how the project is comes together. What I did, you're gonna see the mistakes and you're gonna see the good stuff. It was my first Python project. Maybe it's not the professional look. Most of you who are actual Python programmers would love to, but with my knowledge about backend developing like PHP and MySQL and JavaScript, etc., I want to make a switch to Python, and this was a nice project for me to do. So I'm going to take you along. If you have never done something in Python like I did, then you can learn something too. Just follow along. And if you want to make a bot on your own, yeah, this would be a good starting point. I won't say it's a perfect starting point, but at least it is a starting point to do. As you can see, I work in PyCharm. Um, that's the EDA I use. If you are used to another EDA, you're welcome to. If you don't have an EDA to work with Python, you can find this at the boys of JetBrains. Let me show you the website. Um, the website is jetbrains.com, and then PyCharm download section Windows, and then you need the one down here, the PyCharm Community Edition. Yeah, the professional edition is, of course, as you can see, 30-day trial, but the community edition is free. And yeah, for home use, this is good enough to work with. So that is the editor you're gonna need. And if you really want to join along, then you also need at capital.com. I want to take the original one. Capital. Where are we? Not the trading platform, just the guys themselves. There they are. At capital.com, there you need an account, create an account. I already have an account, but I chose this one because this broker has an educational unit where you can learn a lot about trading and how to do it. Um, so that's good about them. And most important for this bot is also that they have a demo account where you can test your bot. That's what I'm doing at Twitch. If you want to see the test of this bot at Twitch, I will leave a link in the description so you can see what's the bot all about and what it's doing. Um, and they have yeah, a huge amount of information. You can see lots more. I've seen several brokers, but this one has a lot of extra information along the side about your trades. This is the Nasdaq, but you can see in the market info. You have all kinds of news, all kinds of messages related to this. Yeah, sizes. It's all available. I have this one also because it has a demo account. It's what you're looking at. My demo account is at this moment 914 euros. My target is to get back up to 1,000. So the bot, while I'm testing, make losses, of course. but the bot works fine at the moment. It will return to the full 1000 and even 1100 or 1200. Then I know the bot actually works, and I will switch to a live environment and gonna make, I hope, some money. So that's the things you need: an account with Capital and PyCharm. Um, if you have PyCharm installed, you're gonna see. I want to switch back. PyCharm. I already created a new project. You can do this by starting File, New Project. Project I opened is a YouTube scalping bot. Of course, I have already the bot. So you open the new project, you started the new project, and the first thing you need to do is to make this project go. When I started with Python, I didn't know how. So with the help of ChatGPT, of course, I created a lot of code. So I learned with ChatGPT alongside. And the first thing you need is a Python file. And the Python file's name is going to be main. The main pie. Sounds like a cake or so. The main pie. Main course of today: fish and potatoes. The main pie. In this main pie, you need a first starting point, so Python knows where he actually has to start. And I'm gonna copy paste a lot of it because the code is already ready. But this is the first line you need, and I put it already somewhere lower because it's gonna be a lot of code above it. But this is the first one. If double underscore name double underscore is, and then main, then start main. And what you see here, start main, means start the main process. And that's a function, and a function in Python starts with def. So we create a def main, and when we created the def main, it will uh, it will say, okay, there is a main, but now def main is red. Okay, it's good. It means that there's actually something going on. And for now, I just type pass. So if we start run, it will run this part, and then it will see main, and then it will go to the main development, the main function. And from this point on, you can start your project. If I'm going to run this, I'm going to get errors. Of course, I'm going to get errors. You see, the def main, invalid syntax. It's not the right way. But that's only the starting point. So I'm going to grab the next part. Good. Oh, I saw the mistake. I had def and a V, and it should be def with an F. Okay, def main. Like I said, the good and the bad. In this function, there is a start button config. I'm going to disable this for this point too. And I create new session, also disabled. And we're going to start with main loop. Putting a hashtag in front of a code line means that you can disable it for as long as you want. It's adding a comment. It's called a comment code. If you want to make more comments or longer comment section, you can do this by 3 double. If my editor is as friendly as I want. Yes. Then you can see 3. Then you can see that the 3 of them create a larger block off. And when you put 3 of them again, then in between is a large block of comment. Oh. So hashtag for one-liner and 3 double quotation marks for a larger block of comment. And that's coming in handy a lot because you want to test and then you want to see if something is the reason why the program does not do what it's supposed to be doing. And so then you want to comment it out and see, okay, does it work? Yes, it does. Okay, then the error should be in this line. And then when you activate the line, you see, okay, this is wrong. I know the create new session does not exist, and I know that the start button is also not here yet. So I'm going to disable those 2. And we stay with window main loop. I did create several files in several folders because I'm used to, when I creating a PHP programming, a PHP project, to divide my code in several folders. It's belonging to each other. The controls is is separated from the views, and the views are separated from the main core, and the images and the styling, and all those are separate folders. So I started in Pi on the same base, like separating everything in a separate folder, but it's not necessary. You can do it in one file. I don't recommend it to do in one file, but you can do it all in one folder. And what we need is a new file. And the new file we're going to start here is the file we create to get an interface so we can see what we're doing. That's the main reason. And the new file we're going to start, new file, Python file, main window. You see it's a new tab on the PyCharm main window, and in main window there is our interface. And while it is a bot, there is not a lot of interaction with the bot, but the main window is used to give you the information you need about the progress of your bot, of the progress of your positions, the progress of eventually arrows, etc. So you need the window. If you don't see what you're doing, it's not that good. I'm gonna grab the oldest window from my yeah. I'm not going to use this, but this was my first window environment with the title, the shape, window title, the name of the window, and this name is Sandstone within TTK, and all the title label, contract values, contract size, all about TK and TTK. And as you see, TTK has a red underline. This means it's missing the information. And in Python, and maybe if I shift this one a bit more aside, yeah, you see a red warning light, like A something is not good, you press on it, and then it will say you need tk enter ttk to use with this command. It already has a solution like import. Okay, I got add this, and at the top you will see something appeared, and from tk enter import ttk. So tk enter is a class. I don't work with classes in Python, but I know this is the class and this is a method from that class. You can build the main screen this way. Then you see I have every label text with an X and an I on the exact position inside the window. But later on, I found out that this is not the best way to build a screen. But this is a way to organize your screen and to place each text. This is a text size, and it will be placed in the X position 10 and the I position 10. A better way, a much easier way, is to use the grid system. So I'm going to delete this, and I grab the new main window, and we're going to do this one step at a time. Import tk as tk, and the size, window geometry, yeah, and the window config. Background is white smoke. If I want to see this, I go to main by, but it says window, it's red underlined, so it doesn't know where to find the window. So if I go run it, it will give me an error exactly as window main loop name error. Window is not defined, so he doesn't know what window is. And so we need to inform him that window is in main window. So we need a connection between main py and main window. The connection is from the file main window, import window, and it will find itself. You see, window from main window is here, and now we have a window connection with this window connection over here. So if we're going to start main py, it will start the window. There it is. You can't see it. I need to switch. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's the main window, and it has not the right size. Oh, OBS has troubles with this one, I see. Okay. Of course, you can see in the upper line is scalping AI for YouTube. You can see it. Good, but that's a problem. I'm going to switch back. Close. Then you get, because I pressed on stop this program, you get a keyboard interrupt error. Not a problem. It's going to happen all the time when you interrupt yourself, the bot. Back to main window. Window, tk, window title, window size, and window background. This three, at least these three, you need to create a basic window for your interface. And I choose to use another background, white smoke. And then you need to fill the window with what you need. Well, copy paste again. And then you see I have a title, I have the start button, and I have a divider, horizontal divider to keep the header separated from the rest. Then you see the text start and command start button click. This button has actually a function that's called start button click. But the function does not exist. So I create a new button, function, new function, start button clicked. And this function has absolutely no other function than just being there. And to do so, I use path. That's the only thing working. Yep. The start button click needs a path. And that's it. No other commands, just something like this. Why do we need this useless quote button, this useless function? Well, in main pie, we have something that's called a start button. And if start button is clicked, he has to do something on this side in the main pie, not in the main window. So, but that's for later on. Just go for main window. Well, now we have the window, we have the title, we have the start button, and we have the divider. Let's see how this looks. Okay, I'm gonna main pie, run. So let's take a look how this looks. Running, switching, and then you see Nasdaq Scalping Bot 2.0a, the title, and we see a button, and I can press this button, but it won't do anything. Back to main window. So you can build up this window all the way down with every information you need, every title, and all. You can give it a separate name. You need to give it a separate name. The title label has a different name as start button, as horizontal line. All these variables need to have their own name. Title label, this is the text you need, and this is the pack or where you want to place it on your screen. The start button, this is the label, and this is the pack. The horizontal line, this is the label, and this is the pack. So you need to separate those. Each needs its own name and its own pack to place it on. And you can build your entire screen on this way. But I needed something more. I needed something to update the screen as we go along. And I was thinking about how I'm gonna do that. I didn't know. So the best way I found out was the way to use a separate window inside the window, and that's called a frame. There we have a frame, and the frame is inside the TK frame window. So we have the window here is that window and this window. So based on that window, there will be a frame. The name is frame. The frame has also a pack, fill, has to be filled, the entire screen, and it can be expanded if necessary. So frame pack, and that's it. Then the frame configuration, background, white smoke again. And then I added several other variables for white smoke and the background and the placeholder for the widgets. They're going to be widgets inside the frame. And I needed those widgets to get a different color based on the information they get. But for now, if I will start this one, you won't see a difference within the screen. So I'm going to run from main pie, run. Then you see nothing has changed. You just see the same title and starting point with the button and the line and nothing else. If we're going to close this and change the frame configuration background to, let's say, purple, horrible color, but we're going to see main pie. So you see the bot has now the screen. It's not a bot yet. The screen has now a purple background. Nice color, not really. But then you see a clear difference, separation between the top and the bottom, and the entire window is now divided in the top, like the title and the starting button, and the frame right beneath it. Yes. Let's go back, and we're going to change purple back to white smoke. Should I? No, leave it purple. Because we're going to do something else too. If you have a frame, you can use the same things like this one with Patty, and then divide your entire frame up with this coordinates, or you can use the other one I already showed you earlier with the exact coordinates, the X and the Y, to place your labels to. But there's a third method, and that's called the grid system. And the grid system means that you divide your screen up in separate lines and in separate columns and rows, like the grid system for the ones who do HTML. In Bootstrap, there's also a grid system, and this is a similar approach on dividing your screen in separate rows. Let me prepare you an example of this. You see, I added some code. To prepare, I add the font family and the font size. It's needed to my time update table. Last update has this label, time update label TK, with the label, text, the font family, the foreground and the background. Those are here. And this is all for my widgets, the widget background, the widget foreground, and the placeholder background with the font family and the font size. All needed for this one. If we look at the label, then we don't see, like here, a pack. PID is 20, but we see a grid. And the grid is, in this case, a 0 row and column 2, and a sticky from west. Sticky I will show you later on, but that's it. And the placeholder is also row 0, column 3, and a sticky from west to east. If I'm going to start up the program, you don't see, you do see the last update, but you don't see anything else, because Python does not know what sticky means, does not know what the grid column means, because there are no columns, there are no rows at this point. So Let's add them too. I'm going to do this before we're going to do the rest. I'm going to grab some for you. Okay. You see, I added a frame, 2 frames. In the frame, I made 2 columns, a column index 0 and a column index 1, both with a weight of 1. And I will explain it later, but that has to do with the width of the column. I don't know why they didn't call it just the width. Would be much easier than the weight, but stick with it. It's the way it's been done. So index 0 and index 1, and our time update is at column 2 and column 3. So 0, 0, 1 and 2, 3. We know that's not going to work for now, but I'm going to show you how it's going to look. You see, the update is now all the way to the right. That's column 2 and 3 for later on. So you see it's on that side. Now I'm going to change the column into the column 0 and 1. The 2 columns we already have. We have a column 0 and we have a column 1. I'm going to run it again. And then you see we have at column 0 the text, the label, and on this side we have the update of the time. And it does not work because we don't generate a time at this moment. But you see this column is on that, and on the left side is the first, the 0 column. The second thing you see is that the first column, last update, only goes as the text width is. And the second the update is all the way the width of the entire column. And that is because we have 2 sticky points in it. We have a sticky WE at west to east and a west. If I change west E to only west, and I change this one to west to east, we will see the exact opposite of our configuration. You see that the last update and takes the entire column on the left, and not entire because some part of it is the second column, and then we have the update on that side. The text will be centered automatically, so you don't need to add something to center the text like you do in HTML with CSS. You need to say, I want to have the text in the center. It's going to be there. Let's add a second row to this to make it even more clear. Because there are no rows. We've got row 0 and another row 0, but we want to have some more. And to do this, we're going to add a row. Okay, I added 2 rows. That's this part as in frame row configure 0 and weight is 1, and another row configure index 1 with a weight of 1. So now we have 2 columns and 2 rows. And I added also a new label to this, a new widget with the row 0, the row 1, column 0, and row 1, column 1. Our time is at row 0, 0, and 0, 1. This is 1, 0, and 1, 1. So we now have 4 quarters in our screen. Let's take a look at it. You see 4 quarters in our screen. And you see that last update is still from west to east. and this one is also from west to east, and the other two aren't visible yet. And you see that also in the vertical alignment, you see that roughly there is half the frame. That's roughly here. So in the center of the upper row and in the first column is this one. And in the bottom row, we have this one on the left side because it is not west to east. That's going to change so you see better what's going on. Close. We're going to make this sticky. No, we're not. We're going to stay always. Okay. Everything's going to be west. Yes. Now, let's make this one east. And this one east. Then we still got row, column 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. But we changed the sticky side on the east, on the west, on the east, and on the west. And then the information will be more centered. You see, last update, the number of candles are now more on a side and not the entire column. So with rows and columns, you can divide nicely your entire frame like you want to. Okay, we're gonna add some more columns and we're gonna add some more rows to show you other stuff you need to know about rows and columns in the grid configuration. Well, we're back. This is I added some more columns. Now we have the columns 0 to 6, 7 columns, all of the same weight, and we still have 2 rows, but that's for later on. I just want to show you what the meaning of the weight, and I'm going to bring this one back to what we used to. This was column 1, and this used to be column 2. 2 or 3, I believe it's 2, 3, 2 and 3, and this one was column 1 and 2. Yep. So 2, 3 and 1, 2. Let's take a look what happened. You see, number of candles is at row 1, and last update is at row 2, and then we still have a row 3. Sorry, a column 3, and the first column you see is this one. This is column 1. Now we're gonna play with this to show you what's with the width. If I want to change the margin to the left, margin left, I called it margin left. You see, label column 2, placeholder 1, margin middle, labels column 2, etc., etc. I organize this. But let's say I want to take the margin on the left side, index 0, that column. I'm gonna make this 2. Yeah. Let's start with 2. Don't want to overdo it. Run, go. And you see that the last update has shifted a bit. And if I'm gonna change it to, for example, 4, do we have something on row 0? Yes, we do. Okay. Main pie. Then you see that the last update has shifted more. Well, gonna bring it back to 1. Let's add in some frame rows to play along with it more, to show you what's going on and how you can configure it like your own pleasing. Now we have the rows 0 to 13, 14 rows, and we have the columns 0 to 6, 6 columns. And so we have a nice grid to work with. And now you see that there are a lot of rows, and more rows means that the row itself will be smaller. And let's take a look at this. You see that the number of candles was first time around here somewhere, and now it's going all the way up to there. And the last update is also changes to a higher position, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 other rows beneath this. Not beneath it, but 11 other rows beneath this. So this entire frame is divided into 13 separate rows, and 7, did I already do this? Yeah, 7 separate columns. That's what the column and row is for. Now, let's do something more with it. Then we have the main screen as it should be. Okay. I added some more row information. You see, we already had the time update row, and we also had the candle information, number of candles, label grid, row 1, 0, 1 of row 1, column 1, and the other information is row 1, column 2. But I added also other stuff like the label to the current candle open, the placeholder to put the information on row 2, column 1, row 2, column 2. Then we have the previous candle, row 3, column 1, row 3, column 2. The oldest candle, row 4, 1 and 4, 2. Then we have the current EMA, row 5, 1 and 5, 2. And we have the 6 for the MACD, 6, 1 and 6, 2. Signal line, 7, 1 and 7, 2. 8 and 1 for the threshold, and 9 and 1 for the current EMA threshold. Am I correct? No, MACD threshold. And the final one, the advice, is at row 10, column 1, and row 10, column 2. So we have added the full length of all rows in our main screen, and we did this in our frame. So if we're going to look at our frame, now it's divided into several rows, and you will see we've got nicely beneath each other the labels and the placeholders too, and only the last update is more in the center, but that's not the problem. That's where we wanted it to be, and we can see how this is now nicely organized without finding out the new coordinates or to find out where the next path would be. Yeah. So it's all done for us. So this is a great way to organize your screen in nicely rows and grids. So what did I add? I add a time label. I add the number of candles. We want to see how many candles are already passed. It's important for us to have the number. Then we have the current candle open. We want to see what the current worth is of, in this case, the Nasdaq. We have the previous candle, and we have the oldest candle. The oldest candle is 1 candle further back. So 3 candles back, 2 candles back, 1, 2, and 3. So 2 candles back. Then we want to know the EMA. So I created an EMA label with the grid 5, 0, and a sticky of west. A placeholder at 5, 2 with a sticky west, and a MACD line. We want to know the signal line, and we want to know the EMA threshold. We want to know the current threshold of the MACD. This should be EMA threshold. We're going to change this. EMA threshold and MACD threshold. It's all copy paste back. And the current given advice at row 10, column 2. It's all copy paste and change whatever you want to change. So add 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. to use it. Now, we talked about the width, and maybe it's more clearly when I show it in this way. If I choose the width, let's take a look back at the current configuration. You see that the number of candles are almost, what would you say, 1 or 2 centimeters from the left, and there is no, that's not width, so this wise we can see, but this one we don't like it. Could be that you want to make it more. Then you go back to your column, and you see the margin left will be 3. Now we run it again, and you see the entire column shifted to more on that side. You can't go lower than 1. 1 is the minimum, so you can't say, well, I want to have a half. That's not possible. But if you want to have a half, you only need to create another column, and then you can create the way you want to be. That's the way I did it. I created 7 columns, 1 for the margin left, 1 for the label, 1 for the placeholder, then a margin in the middle, then the labels on the right side, the placeholders on the right side, and a margin right. The margin right is more or less useless, but just because it's for my logic, I want to see a margin left and a margin right, and then a margin in the middle, and then nicely divided. If you see the rows, they are all weight 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, except the last one. They had a weight of 4. And you can't see the rate of 4 right now because I only used 10 rows for this moment on the left side. So all these labels were on the left side. I'm going to add the right side also. This is the right side, the columns on the right, and you see that I created this one to call it still row 1, but now column 4 and 5 instead of column 1 and 2. So on the left side, I organize it in row 10, column 1, column 2. Now I organize it in column row 1, in row 1, column 4 and 5. And the next one, row 2, column 4 and 5. Row 3, column 4 and 5. Row 4, column 4 and 5. Row 4, row 5. All the way down. And what I created here is the information about the contract. It's not only the advice environment, I call this, is when is a contract opened, but also the information about the contract itself. What is going on? How large, etc. So the current contract is over here. It's a buy or sell. Then we see the contract size. We see the profit level. We see the take profit. So you see the current profit. We see the take profit level. We see the stop loss level. And then we have some extra information. The profit counter. I will explain that later on in the series what this does. And on the static date time. The stat, that should be the start. Okay, the start date time, when did the bot started, and what is the total profit since we started. And those are, and I missed the rows below 13. I don't believe I have rows 13. No, I don't. Okay, we don't have rows 13. No, this is row 10. And then on the other side, it's row 9 is the maximum. Good. So we don't need the rows 11 and 12. And then this is row 13 becomes 11. And you see, I created for row 11 also a weight of 4 to shift it more on the bottom side up. Yeah, that would be nice. So now we have the columns 2 and 3. Sorry, we have the columns 2, 3 for the time. We have the columns 1 and 2 for the candle, all the way down 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 10 rows. And for the other side, we have the columns 4 and 5. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, and 4, 5. If we're going to look at it, we're going to run. Now we see the columns 0, the column 1, the column 2, the column 3, the column 4, and the column 5, and the column 6 on that side. And on the rows, we've got, this is row 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the 10 is at the bottom. Let's see. So we're going to play a bit with the weight. So we got on the left side, we go to 4, and on the middle, we're going to get 3, and on the right side, we go to 4. Although the right side has no meaning, but just to let it be. Let's go. And you see everything is more compact now. On the right side, bottom, and on the left side, and in the middle, there is more space. So you can play the way you like. You can divide your rows and columns in every way you want to do. I'm going to bring it back to the original. This was 1, 1, and 1, and this one was 4. Yeah, so this was the main screen, and this is where we're going to work with in the other videos. If you like what you see, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Take a look at the scalping bot at the Twitch channel, Scalping Bot, and hopefully we see each other the next time.